Kia ora. It's a week out since the half marathon now, and we're into the next round of training for October, which gets me back on trail, which is exciting. I feel like I haven't been on trail much since I've been training for the flat marathon, half marathon rather. So today it's going to be a lot of walking the ups, I think, because I don't have that fitness in me at the moment for hills. But I wanted to do like a race recap of how the half marathon went, and also the run we did yesterday, which I didn't really think was going to be an event like it was. It was really fun. So half marathon, we started. Oh, I'm going off track rather. So the half marathon, the slow runners, we had the option to start at 7:45, so 45 minutes ahead of the rest of the marathon, half marathon pack. And I think for the full marathon they had another 45 minutes if they wanted a really, really early start. But yeah, we started at 7:45 and 0 degrees, so it was colder than I was expecting. I always take like my gloves and a buff because I can store them in my pack, and I take my seam seal jacket, and that way I can stuff it all in the back but stay warm up to the start line. So did that, and it was beautiful frosty morning, snow on the mountains, which we don't get a lot of snow, and we haven't had really many hard frosts this winter, so it was a real pretty start. And that my watch, I hadn't synced over my Pace Pro strategy, so that went a bit haywire. I spent the first K trying to manually add one into my watch, and then the first K was too quick for what I was wanting to do, so that was okay. But no, it was nice. We came out onto the boardwalks, and we were going around the waterfront, and they'd said there is ice on the boardwalks and stuff, which there was, but it wasn't too slippy. And just walking is puffing me at the moment, probably because I'm talking as well. So we came around the boardwalks. The photographer was getting photos there because it was sunrise and stuff. It was gorgeous out through the estuary. And then there was one fella who him and I were leapfrogging a bit. He was walking the half marathon and I was running it. We were at a reasonably similar pace, so we leapfrogged a bit. I don't think I got steadily in front of him until about 15k. We got to the swing bridge, and then my shoelaces were undone, so I stopped to tie them in, and he got ahead of me again, but we sort of bounced back and forth a bit. And then before the swing bridge, they were doing a relay race as well. So we got to the first relay switchover, and at that point I saw our parkrun run director. She was there. I was like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, wouldn't you be running this? But I didn't realise that was the relay changeover. So we did the relay changeover with those people, and about that point, the fast half marathon people were coming for an overtaking, and that some of the ladies from daycare I knew were doing the relay, so I was sort of looking for them there, but didn't see them there. And then we went over the bridge, got out towards Rabbit Island, and there was this little forestry bit, and there was this lady who I had seen just ahead of me a wee bit most of the way, and I caught her in there, and maybe 17k, and so I said to her as I went past, oh, you're doing really good. You were just in the distance the whole time. And at that point she'd started doing run walk, I think, and she was like, oh, I recognised you at the start. Her and I had finished similarly at a trail race in May, so that was quite cool. And then more cyclists coming. faster runners. So we came out of the forest section, and there was just like a little bit more down towards the beach where we finished. And at that point, I saw Ruth from Parkrun. She came back past again. Nick, a guy who runs a lot of the running things going on around, he came through and stuff, so it was good to see familiar faces and that. And then came down onto the beach, towards the beach rather, and that, and finished through there. The finish line was like right by another relay swap over. So the relay swap over, a lot of people, including me, thought was the finish, but there's like another 100 metres. But that was fine. Finished, and yeah, ended up being a big PB for me. I was feeling pretty good, but I was just hearing over here my splits every K, and it was like seeming quicker than I wanted to be, but I was holding it okay. So we went with it, and then about 15K, I was like, yep, this is comfortable. We'll push on a little bit, and that, and then I think by around like 18K, I was like, yeah, we're definitely on for a PB, no worries. And we cruised through the finish, so it was a bigger PB than I expected, which was nice. And then a few minutes later, I was sort of like wandering back and getting ready to get picked up, because it was a point-to-point course. And then when I got out past the relay swap over, I saw the daycare teachers and stuff. They were just coming in, finishing second leg, third leg about to start, so that was cool, got to see them. And then got picked up and went home. So, well, got picked up, walked around, went to prize giving, went home, and won a spot prize, yay! I always like to go to prize giving. I know I'm never getting in those finisher categories, but spot prizes, and it's, you know, part of the event atmosphere. So that was the half marathon, that was all good. And then I had signed like me and our daughter and my partner up for this colour run that was yesterday out in Motueka, and in my head, like, it was 1.7k, not realising it was out and back, so it was 2.8ish, yeah, about a mile back. So it was a free event. It was just like fundraising and donations and stuff, so like, if you didn't want to do any of that, contribute, I guess. It was a free event. Sorry, checking the map, going straight ahead. So we went to this free event, pulled up out of Mott. We had like our white shirts on and stuff, and I'd been talking to our daughter about it, and she was quite excited for the colour run, and I like showed her some videos of what colour runs are, and she was quite excited for that, so we did that. And then like at the warm-up, she was like all excited and jumping around, and she was telling us like, I'm gonna run, because at Parkrun she stays in the pram the whole time. So we were like, okay, so we had the pram, but we were like, no, if she wants to start running, awesome, let's try it. And she ran like probably 200 metres, like enthusiastically, which was awesome. And she was like loving getting the colour thrown on her, because we took the rain cover in case like the colour hit her. And she was like, no, and then we could chuck her in the pram with the cover on, and then she wouldn't get it on her. But no, she loved it. And that, my partner took the pram, and that, and it just ended up being like a really cool run. Loads of families and kids and stuff, so most people were walking it, or like, you know, jogging about with the kids and stuff. So we actually ended up, I had bib 14 and finished 14th, which is, for a race, the highest I've ever ranked. But yeah, her daughter loved it, and she was like wanting to go again, and we were, it was just fun. It was just a good, wholesome family day out, and like for a fundraising event, it was really cool, because they had like these fabric bibs that we gave back at the end, so they can be reused. The bottles of water they gave us were like thicker plastic that's able to be reused, or like it was made of like non-plastic, recyclable or compostable something. And then they gave us these glasses as well, which are like, it's like that fabric, the material the compostable toothbrushes are made out of. And that's so, from like a sustainability point, like they gave you a lot, but it wasn't like as impactful. But yeah, it was really cool. So that was the half marathon, and yeah, little fun colour run, which we all really enjoyed. It was just like a lovely wholesome day out. And then yeah, today I'm running / walking up the hill. I'll run down. But yeah, it's nice to be back in the trails and back on the hills. I'll hopefully take a nice picture at the top. But yeah, that's where we are for now. Ka kite.